Hi, this is Barry Enerson from the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room. It is Tuesday, April the 28th. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Now, I'm actually in a trade right now. I just want to bring it up. JetBlue, GB or JBLU. And I noticed it did take a little pop. I should mark this up. I'm actually in at 2112. That's what I called in the room. We watched this for quite a while. There we go. So I took the trade right about here. I was waiting for it to go above 2110. You can see why. I mean, here's I think 2106 is there, but a nice consolidation right under, right over the whole number, and we just kind of waited for the break of 2110, which I think was this high right around here. So it's had a bit of a pop. I'll have to keep watching it. I don't want to take a loss on it, of course. 2122 right now. So I may, as I'm doing this video, I may exit the trade, but right now looking pretty good. It's an earnings play. It had earnings today, so that's why it's pretty active. It also came up on our 5-day swing trade. You can see right here the 5-day swing trade, JetBlue at 2083. So maybe it has a few things going for it. So I will probably put a stop in about 2112 at my buy just in case it gets back down there. Okay, so as I say, I'll just have to keep an eye on it with, I'll have this chart on another monitor. So let's take a look at what I did today. BIS. BIS, now, if you follow my videos, you know I really like trading the biotechs, but the biotechs have just got beaten up the last 2 days. Let's take a look at the daily chart on the IBB, which is a sector that follows the biotechs. And it's the ETF. And here's yesterday's candle, and devastating. And then today it started off almost the same way. I mean, it got all the way down to 338. Now it's had a nice rebound here. But I wanted to participate in this somehow. And, the inverse of the IBB is BIS. And let's just bring up the 5-minute candle. And just in case you don't know, because there were a couple of people in the room that weren't aware that there was an inverse of the IBB, and by an inverse, what I mean is this. Here, this is the IBB. This line here represents what the IBB is doing, and this is what BIS is doing. And so I know in some people's accounts they cannot go short in a stock. That's not going to help you in an individual stock, but if you wanted to short the sector, you still couldn't do that. But you can go long what's called the inverse of the ETF that tracks a sector, and this is what BIS does. So you can see BIS is rising as the IBB is going down. Now it can be very whippy and fast and all. So I called the trade right here at 34.51. I took out some right here at 34.82 and the rest at 34.61, and then it completely collapsed as IBB is rising. This is going down. So I hope that makes sense to you. Now, the next trade, MDCA, was a really tough one, and I got in a couple of times, and it made a little bit of money overall on it, but just was not that great a trade. This was on the potential reversal, as I call my potential reversal plays. So we saw this. I think this probably was way down in the morning. Yeah, so here's where it closed yesterday. And I understand there's some lawsuits or things like that overhanging now the company. And so here it closed at what, $28, and here's the opening candle, opening a volume bar right there. Here's the opening candle. So before that it was 22. So it dropped about $6. So this is why we wanted to watch it. So you can see that it kept falling. Let me just bring this back. You see, it kept falling. A little bit of a pop here, but really tough to convince yourself to enter here on such a wide candle. At least it is for me to do that. Just making sure JetBlue isn't 2121 still okay on the bid. So kept watching it, and so right here I think is 1897, and I was actually waiting for a 19 break. But you see, it had a little break there, came back down, tempted here, came back down, and I thought I would take sort of an anticipatory trade that it was going to break 19, and it just didn't work. I took the trade here at 1897, and I exited right there almost immediately at 1882. But I was going to keep watching it, and as I said in the room, I will now wait for the actual 19 break. So the actual 19 break now happened right there. I took the trade at 1915. It actually, this was a nice, you can't tell here, but this was a nice green candle starting. And, obviously we were hoping that anybody was in it anyway, that it would just continue going up. I decided, because it was so erratic, I decided to take some profit right here at 1940, which was really fortunate because then it just came right back down, and I exited. I don't have it marked here. It's actually at 1907. So I got in at 1915 and exited at 1907. So a tough one. You see it teased again here. Look like here's another little pop. All right, we're on the way. And then the pullback, another little pop, and then the pullback. So very, very difficult one to trade. So not really interested in this for the balance of the day, of course, but will have on my radar because now we've got this tremendous gap to fill. Let's again look at the daily chart. And so right here, oh, I gotta move it over just a little bit so we get today's candle. So right here is today's candle. So look at this massive gap we've got to fill. So this will certainly make my best 10 list for tomorrow. And it may not, it may do nothing tomorrow, may do nothing for the next week, but we'll certainly probably have this on the list because it's just got a big gap there. The next one was SNAK, and this one came from we're on the daily. Well, actually, good to look at the daily. Had a nice rebound. Had obviously a bit of a catastrophe from here, from $12 all the way down to 862. On this candle did most of the damage. Then yesterday's candle, and sorry, 2 days ago, that would be Friday, and then Monday we had a bit of a rebound, and today was a continuation. So. This is not why I got into the trade though. Why I got into the trade was it came on one of the 30-minute opening range break strategies. So let me just see if I can find it quickly. I have a lot of these in here now. There it is, right here at 966 at 10:33 in the morning. So let's bring back the 5-minute chart. And so it would have been right about here. And so that was the right here would have been the break of the opening 30-minute range. So I took the trade. Now, did I take the trade there? Yes, I did. I took the trade right here at 971. And you look at what happened. It came 966 was actually the trigger, and I actually said in the room that if it broke down below 966, that I was. In fact, I think I said 963. Looking at 963, and luckily it didn't. I held on, and it didn't look like it was doing very much. I mean, these are 5-minute candles, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's almost 25 minutes, and then all of a sudden we had a nice big pop up here. But I recognize the fact that this is $9.99. It was going to be perhaps a tough to get through $10, so I was really watching this like a hawk as it was butting its head up against $10. And on this little weakness here, I decided to exit the trade at 9.93. So nice trade on a percentage basis, 971 to 993. Took a little bit longer than I'm used to, but once this happened, once I was in a profitable position, there was no reason to get rid of the trade. So that was that one. And let's see. I mean, just have to keep an eye on JetBlue. JetBlue is still okay. DXCM was the other trade. DXCM was another 30-minute opening range break. And let's see where that one was. I just have to find it. Okay, now see, this is the slightly different one. This was the original 30-minute, and this is Dan's. This is sort of the re-optimized one. But I have them both up because I find, look, they tend to give different alerts. There are different filters in here. So I kind of like to have them up and running at the same time just to see. And there's, let's face it, there's no harm in checking to see which one is working the best. So DXCM, yeah, 68.15 was the alert. And so right about here, I took the trade at 68.19, and it was just really erratic. I mean, it got as high as 68.56, pulled back, got as high. as again 68.58 and pulled back, and eventually I exited the trade right here for a small gain at 68.36. It just was did not look like it wanted to continue. And I missed a couple of trades, on my 15-minute strategy. Here was the first one, AKRX 4463. Let's take a look at what it did. AKRX 4463. It's down here at 44.56, but at 44.63, which would have been right here, look what happened. They just completely went almost ballistic, almost a dollar. The reason I didn't take it, it was in the healthcare sector, and I was just worried about the IBB. So I was kind of I kind of talked myself out of that trade because of that, but that was would have been an excellent one. And I think that is it. Let me just bring up JetBlue again and see how it's doing. Okay, it's hanging in there. It's how it had, notice it had a little spike to 21.27, which I think 21.28, which is the high of the day. So I will continue to hold this. The market has a little less than an hour to go. So I'm going to put my stop basically at my buy at 21.12, or maybe 21. 18 or so, just so I can say I made a little profit on or feel good about making a little profit on it. But right now, there's no reason for me to sell this stock. It's an earnings play, and it's also on that 5-day swing pattern. So, especially on an earnings play, by at the end of the day, and it's been, I think the fact that it held 21 for so long will give people confidence maybe to hold this and maybe even swing it. So I don't mean swing it because of the trade ideas swing strategy alert, but just in general that it's a good play. I believe this is, excuse me, I believe this is also a lifetime high. Let me just take the yearly on this. I guess way back there was a spike up here, 31. Okay, but that's back way back in '03. So I mean, really, right here, in fact, back in '04 is looks like a spike right to where we are. So this, for all intents and purposes, I mean, this is a recent lifetime high. I mean, okay, by the strict definition, it's not a lifetime high, but certainly, 12, 13 years ago, or sorry, 12 years ago, this is when this happened. But okay, that is it. Let me just bring back the cover page, and here it is. Here's how to get into the room. And you know the drill. Log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading.